remember when the street lights felt like stages, and we climbed the water tower just to prove we weren't afraid. Your laugh echoed off the brick walls of this dying town. We carved our initials where nobody looks down, like the concrete could keep a secret like we could too. Every night felt endless, like the future was a rumor, like we could live in the in-between and never pay for it. I remember when tomorrow wasn't real, just the pavement under our feet and the way you made me feel like we could outrun the sunrise, like time was on our side. I remember when we didn't know that everything good dies. Summer stretched forever in the backseat of your car. Windows down, voices hoarse, chasing satellites, not stars. We talked about escape routes and the places we would go before we learned that leaving meant leaving what we know. In us, we meant it, every plan, every promise, but the sky kept turning over us, like you didn't care what we wanted. I remember when tomorrow wasn't real, just the pavement under our feet and the way you made me feel like we could outrun the sunrise, like time was on our side. I remember when we didn't know that everything could dies. Now I drive past all those places, they look smaller than before. Your number's still in my phone, but I don't know what I'd say anymore. I keep rehearsing, near the words in my head, like practice makes it less true. Like if I say it right, it won't hurt like it did. I remember when tomorrow wasn't real, just the pavement under our feet and the way you made me feel like we could outrun the sunrise, like time was on our side. I remember when we didn't know that everything could die. So think around when before the way, before the end. I remember when. We jumped off the quarry ledge, 30 feet, free fall flight. Your hand felt mine underwater, breaking surface, gas, safe. Salt on our skin from the highway. Nobody waiting up, nobody scared. We lived in the spaces between consequence. 16 and infinite, reckless intense. We kept our names in cheap lighters and receipts, like proof we existed in more than a week. Like if we ran that's what made it true. I hear the splash every time it rains. I see your hand like a flash frame, and I can't tell if I'm grateful or just haunted in a different way. We were invincible. We were invincible. Until we weren't. Until we weren't. We jumped off the quarry ledge, and for a second we flew. Cutting through the 2 a.m. haze, your hand out the window, catching the wind. This town looks different when it's sleeping, like we're the only ones who ever lived. Every red light is a suggestion, every yellow means go faster. We're writing our story in tire marks on asphalt that won't remember us after. The dashboard glow turns your face into a postcard, something holy in the way you don't look back. I keep my fear between my teeth and let the engine speak for us. Racing through empty streets, like we're running from something. Racing through empty streets, like we're chasing what we'll never catch. The faster we go, the more alive we feel. The faster we go, the less of this is real. You're reading signs and voices nobody else can hear, making left turns based on nothing but a feeling. The speedometer climbs, my heartbeat matches. This moment's all we have, and it's already leaving. We pass the same landmarks in different light. Everything familiar becomes strange. Something about velocity and youth makes permanence feel like chains. Racing through empty streets, like we're running from something. Racing through empty streets, like we're chasing what we'll never catch. The faster we go, the more alive we feel. The faster we go, the less of this is real. Slow down. like we could break through the present tense. No audience, no stage, just us in the void, harmonizing with our own heartbreak. Every word a rebellion against growing older, every note a promise we couldn't fake. And I remember the dashboard glow on your face, like a spotlight we didn't earn. We were kids with our hands on the dial, trying to make the whole world turn, singing our lungs out like the sound could save us, singing our lungs out till our voices shatter into truth. We don't need to know all the words, we just need to feel this, singing our lungs out while we still have proof that we exist. Your voice cracked on the high part, mine fell flat, but we kept going, kept pushing through. There's power in imperfection when you mean it, when you're singing like there's nothing left to lose. We turn pain into volume, fear into melody, made the darkness into something we could hold. For 3 minutes and 42 seconds, we were exactly who we wanted to be before we got old. Singing our lungs out like the sound could save us, singing our lungs out till our voices shatter into truth. We don't need to know all the words, we just need to feel this, singing our lungs out while we still have proof that we exist. And maybe it won't last, and maybe we'll forget, but right now we're alive, right now is all we get, all we get. Singing our lungs out like the sound could save us, singing our lungs out. And maybe it did, maybe it did, maybe it did, singing our lungs out. But we still have proof. We climbed onto the roof while the party raged below. Watched the skyline breathe in neon and sodium glow. You said something about infinity, you said something back. Neither of us meant it, but we believed every word like fact. The night air tasted like possibility and smoke. We wore our youth like armor, like some cosmic inside joke. Every scar we'd collect was still years away, every consequence deferred to some hypothetical day. And up here the street lights look like stars we could steal, like the world was a rumor and we were the only ones who could feel it. Like nothing could touch us, like we were made of something stronger than bone. Like nothing could touch us, like we'd figured out what nobody else had known. We were wrong, but we were right in that specific moment, in that specific light. Like nothing could touch us, nothing could something stronger than bone. Like nothing could touch us, like we figured out what nobody else had known. We were wrong, we were right, in that specific moment, in that specific light. Like nothing could touch us, nothing could touch us then. But something did, something will, something always does. And I can hear the party from the roof, like a memory already leaving, like laughter through a wall I can't lean on anymore. I held the edge like it could hold me back, like the fall was just a word, like nothing could touch us. We believed it with everything we had, like nothing could touch us. Now I know that's what made the ending so bad. We were wrong, but God, we were right. For that specific moment, in that specific light, like nothing could touch us, nothing could touch us then, like nothing could. I'm hoping all your life that I was seeing the door with all of my hurt, and I was eyeing a limerick hole with you last time. Get this wasn't right. Now it's over, and now it's over, and now it's over. I could gun, but I could gun. Oh, you wanted real. I was old before, I was old before. First crack appeared on a Tuesday in November. Nothing dramatic, just your voice on the phone. Slight hesitation where there used to be certainty. The space between your words where doubt had grown. Temperature dropped before the first frost bites, and I kept talking over the silence, like filling it would fix it, like volume could make it summer again, like denial was a skill I could perfect. But everything changes, everything moves, no matter how hard you hold on, no matter what you prove. We promise forever like we control time, but everything changes and nothing stays, nothing stays, nothing stays mine. We still went through the motions for a while, still drove those streets, still said those words, but they echoed different in the growing distance, like a language we were slowly forgetting we'd learned. You started sentences you didn't finish, I stopped asking what you meant. We became experts at avoiding the conversation neither one of us could prevent. But everything changes, everything moves, no matter how hard you hold on, no matter what you prove. We promise forever like we control time, but everything changes and nothing stays, nothing stays. different somehow, that what we built was permanent. But I'm standing in the ruins now, and I finally understand that holding tighter doesn't stop the slip. That love isn't always enough, that sometimes you just lose your grip. Everything changes, everything moves. No matter how hard I held on, there was nothing left to prove. We promised forever, but we were just kids, and everything changes. Everything changed, everything changed. It wasn't violent, wasn't cruel, just a slow erosion nobody noticed. You stopped texting back as quickly. I stopped sharing every thought. The space between us widened, one missed call at a time, one canceled plan, one maybe later, one I'm tired tonight. Is that fine? People I never met. My days unfolded without telling you. We built separate lives in the same town, strangers with a shared past come and do. I'd see your name and hesitate, you'd see mine and let it ring. We became people we used to know, instead of people who knew everything. And we grew apart like continents drifting. And we grew apart so gradually we didn't feel it, until the distance was too far to cross. Until we looked back and saw what we lost. No fights and points out, no moment to blame. Just woke up one day and nothing was the same. can't remember what you wore that night. Is that it mattered at the time? Your face is clear but context blurs. The feeling remains, the details resign. I used to know your schedule by heart. Now I don't know if you're still awake at dawn. Small things slip away first, things look good. But my brain is skipping tracks and I'm pretending it's a song. Slowly forgetting the sound of your voice. Slowly forgetting I got headed Our favorite place got torn down last year. I drove past the empty lot today. Couldn't picture what it looked like before. Another piece that won't stay. I deleted photos, trying to move on, but now I wish I kept just one. Not to hurt myself, just to remember what I'm in the danger of forgetting. Slowly forgetting the way you lie. Slowly forgetting our shared past. There's mercy in memory loss. There's violence in it too. I'm losing you in pieces and there's nothing I can do. Sometimes I'll catch a sense or hear a phrase you used to say. For a second you're completely real, then you fade away. Slowly forgetting. Slowly forgetting. Slowly We promised we'd be different from everyone else, that we wouldn't let the world make us cold. We promised honesty even when it hurt, but I started lying just to keep my hold. We promised we'd fight for this, that distance and time wouldn't matter. We promised communion, but I watched us turn. What we promised became what we broke. What we promised, empty words we spoke. I carry the weight of every vow, every oath we couldn't keep. What we promised now haunts me in my sleep. You promised to stay patient, that you would every single word, but meaning isn't enough. Meaning isn't enough. Meaning isn't enough. I thought love could survive on intention, like effort was a substitute for change. But you can't build a future on apologies and call it steady and call it safe. What we promised, what we broke, what we promised. Words became smoke. I'd give anything to take it back, to prove that I could keep what we promised. But some things are too deep. Some things are too deep. Some things are too deep. Stop looking for you in crowd. Stop checking my phone for your name. I started filling my days with different things. Started learning I could handle the pain. The small victories at first, getting through a day without the ache. Then a week and more, started recognizing what was real, what was fake. And some nights I still reach for the habit, like healing is something I can misplace. But I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm trying, even when progress moves at its own pace. Until I found pieces of myself in the wreckage. Until I found a strength I didn't know I'd kept. Until I found that losing you meant finding me. Until I found my way back to who I was supposed to be. I picked up things I'd left behind, instead got buried under us. Reconnected with the person I was before we became my only focus. Started sleeping through the night, started meaning it when I said I'm okay. Not forgetting you, just learning how to exist beyond yesterday. And I still feel the pull sometimes, like the past is a room I keep unlocked. But I'm learning that missing you doesn't mean I have to stop. Until I found pieces of myself in the wreckage. Until I found the strength I didn't know I'd kept. Until I found that losing you meant finding me. Until I found my way back to who I was supposed to be. It's not about replacing what we had or pretending it didn't matter. It's about building something new from everything that shattered. I'm not the same person I was before. until I found that I could make it on my own. Until I found that this ending was a door. Until I found myself, and that was worth searching for. Until I found I want a different one. I recognize my reflection now. Not who I was, not who we were. Something in between, something new. Someone I'm finally sure. I laugh at different jokes, I take different routes home. I built a life that's mine, and I'm okay being alone. It took a while to stop flinching at the sound of my own name, but I'm here in the open, and I don't want to change it back. I'm myself again, not the version you knew. I'm myself again, and it feels strange but true. I'm not going backwards, not undoing what's been done. Myself again, a different one. I don't apologize for taking up space. Don't shrink to fit someone else's frame. I say what I mean and mean what I say. I answer when people ask my name. The things that used to break me now just bend me for a while. I've learned the difference between giving up and knowing when to reconcile. Some days I still look over my shoulder, like the past is gonna call me back, but I've got my feet under me now, and I don't miss who I had to act. I'm myself again, not the version you knew. I'm myself again, and it feels strange but true. I'm not going backwards, not undoing what's been done. I'm myself again, a different one. Some days I still slip, some days I still fall, but I catch myself now, I don't lose it all. I'm learning that healing isn't a straight line. It's messy and circular, but I'm doing fine. I'm myself again, stronger for the break. I'm myself again, from everything at stake. I'm not who I was, but I'm someone I can trust. I'm myself again, and that's enough. That's enough. I'm myself again. I'm myself again. The apartment's quiet, the way it never was before. I've rearranged the furniture, but something's still missing from every room I walk through. I make coffee for one, read books you never understand, build a routine that's entirely mine. without you. I'm learning what that means without you. I'm somewhere in between without you. The silence feels like space without you. I'm finding my own pace. Some nights I wonder what you're doing, if you think of me at all. Other nights I don't think of you once, and I don't know which feeling's worse. When darkness falls, I'm building something here, from the ground up, brick by brick. Not what we had, something different, something that's solely mine to pick. Without you, I'm learning what that means. Without you, I'm somewhere in between. Without you, the silence feels like space. Without you, I'm finding my own pace. Maybe this is what moving on looks like. Not forgetting, just learning how to breathe. Maybe this is what healing sounds like. Quiet, uncertain, incomplete. Without you, I'm different than before. Without you, I've opened different doors. Without you, I'm standing on my own. Without you, I'm finding something close to home. I've been telling this story both ways, depending on which version helps me sleep. Some nights I'm the hero who moved on. Some nights I'm the one who's in too deep. Truth is, I'm reading this backwards and forwards. Same scenes, different meanings every time. Track 1 feels like an ending some days. Track 12 feels like I'm still stuck on the climb. I remember when, but do I really? Or did I build that memory to fit the arc? Were we invincible, or just reckless kids who couldn't tell the difference in the dark? The Polaroids are real, the streets are real, but the narrative, that's mine. I arranged these moments into poetry, drew a through line where there wasn't one to find. Maybe healing looks like this, holding both stories in your hands, knowing one reads like redemption, the other reads like quicksand. Without you, I found myself. Or did I lose myself to find you? I remember when we were invincible. Was that track 1 or track